Boss. See the topic and what it is that we're talking about, right? Only hurt people, right? You never heard of that before. I'm going to go ahead and bust it down, make it super easy for you, right? So you got to understand this, right? In order for you to harm somebody or, just do something malicious and downright, think about it. You have to be a downright evil person to do something like that. Do you see good people or people who are not like in a messed up predicament, just out here just doing the most grimy, like vicious things? No, that's not how this stuff works. You feel me? Think about it like this, right? Every person who's been hurt, they have to have some form of a backstory as to why they do that. And if you really look into it and pay attention, a lot of those people, their traumas tend to stem from what? Childhood. You feel me? So example into that. Let's say, a person grew up being a bully because, either their parents bullied them or they don't have any power or say-so at home. So they try to seek to get it elsewhere by trying to bully somebody. Or I'll give you another example. Let's say somebody's in an abusive household, and because their environment is so abusive and it's so toxic, that's the reason why they carry on the way that they do in the world. It's different reasons. But if you really sit down and think about it, right? The only people who are out here in the world who are hurting people and people who don't deserve it are what? Hurt people. Now, stop and think about that, right? Good people. A lot of people tend to play like they're good because why? It's like the eyes are off you. Mind you, in this world, good people are the ones who get used. You feel me? Evil people are the ones who really, I wouldn't say really get as respected, but people respond to fear quicker than they do to kindness. You get what I'm saying? So why do you think you have a lot of people out here in the world doing evil things or malicious things? Either because they can gain sympathy for it, they can gain attention, gain some form of clout, and then after when all is said and done, they can take those things and they can blame it on their fucked up backgrounds, or growing up I never had a father, or the reason why I do the things that I do, my mom used to abuse me. Here's the deal, right? And I've done a video about this. Being raised in a screwed up environment doesn't give you an excuse to fuck people over, bro. And this is the thing that people need to understand as well. When you hear the term only hurt people, that term runs so deep that some people don't really understand it. There's some people who hurt people just to gain sympathy from others and try and blame it off as, I never had a father, I never had this, to gain some form of sympathy from other people. Like, it's like looking for an excuse. You feel me? And if you understand this mechanism, or when people do things to gain sympathy, it's to get like attention. You feel me? So example, and I know I say you feel me a lot. That's like a habit. So I know somebody out there is like, yo, this nigga say you feel me a lot. But back on subject, if you're a person who sees, doing bad things can get you attention. It could get you respected by people. It could get you feared by people. It could get you ends with the girls. People are going to use that as a form of a crutch to do things that it's like this was so nefarious, you never had to do it. But then again, you have to understand something. When people do these things, they know the type of attention that they're going to garner for it. Some people, they live for this attention. Because why? Some people were born in what? Broken homes. There are some people as kids, they never got attention from their parents growing up, either because their parents weren't there or their parents were busy, even if they were there. They felt like, I didn't get enough attention. That's why you have a lot of people who like to act out now or in their younger stage leading into adulthood, because they realize something. The attention that I never got when I was at home, I can definitely get it elsewhere. And now how do I get it? From being bad, being wild, being reckless, being with it. So guess what? When people say, hurt people, I'm going to tell you as well why that runs a little bit deeper, right? And this may sound kind of screwed up, but this is something I'm learning more and more by the day, right? Do you know that some people rather choose to be bad than good for different reasons that it doesn't make sense, but as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see it, but it still doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to explain that, right? Some people hurt other people not only to get their rocks off or get attention, but you got to understand this. If I'm going to hurt somebody, right? I can play victim. I can use that as a tough card that nobody wouldn't play with me. But at the same time, some people hurt other people because they feel like they're deserving of it, even when they're innocent. You get what I'm saying? As well as that, there's some people who hurt other people because they feel like, yo, I'm not going to get checked for it. Because either you know what type of time I'm on, or you know how reckless I could be, or you know how dumb I can get. That's not an excuse to have piss poor behavior, dog. And as well as that, when people hurt other people, besides them getting a recharge or a high off of it, besides all of that stuff, some people just downright feel like it's justified to hurt somebody else because I'm able to get back something that I might have lost, so to speak. Some people think me hurting you, yo, you know what? Now you know what pain feels like. Then there's some people who look at it as, yo, you look like you were raised in a good, loving household, nothing but love. You don't know what pain feels like. I'm gonna inflict some pain on you. There are some people who do this stuff. And if you look at the reasons as to why they do it, it makes absolutely no friggin' sense. I said I understand it because when some people do certain things to other people and they feel like you've never went through this before, they feel like it's then justified. And then on top of that, who's gonna check me for being wild, or who's gonna check me for hurting somebody? Nobody. Because here's the deal. There's some people that pretty much figured out, yo, if I can become the biggest or the baddest or the roughest and the toughest, who is going to challenge me? As well as that, me hurting people, right? Guess what? Females, this is just true, bro. I learned this as days go by, bro. There's a lot of women who run to bad boys because why? The pain that they're able to give them. And as well as that, I'm going to give you another free one. This one screwed my head up as well. I found out that a lot of people choose to be bad because they get remembered that way. Stop and think about it. And I'm not talking about the big gangsters from way back in the days. Think on a deeper scale, right? Look at all of the people who've done something wild, bad, reckless, nefarious, whatever the case may be. Look what they've garnered from that. They've garnered praise, memories, worship. Look at the movie Juice. I'll use this movie all day long. Look at when they were at Steele's house. They skipped school and they went to Steele's house. The movie that a bishop was watching, Tupac. He was like, I'm on top of the world. Because he looked at that. Look at that. He took matters in his own hands. He took his life and destiny in his own hands. Some people look at that as, yo, there's a thing with being bad, bro. People remember you for it. When you're good, you get what? You get used. Let me tell you something. That might be true, but I'm going to tell you something that's real, what some people don't remember. And I even did a video about this. You ruin your legacy and your reputation when you choose to be evil and wicked. Especially if you did it for no friggin' reason. It's not like you were raised in an environment where, you had to do that. I understand some people, they pick up certain things in life, but using evil tactics to harm people, especially people who are innocent, you're downright pussy and weak. That's weak as hell. As well as that, when you choose to be evil and hurt people, right? You dampen and ruin your legacy. Remember what I told you about my mom? My mom did some reckless things out here in the world that she never had to do. And guess what? In order for her to get ahead and guess what? Put on this vibe and this act to other people on the outside that, yeah, I'm doing well. Guess who you stepped on? Your own kids, bro. You did something downright evil to get ahead in life. And then there's some people, when they use these evil tactics, they're not even ballsy with what they do. They do it to people that they feel like are not going to respond, or they're a mute, or you're not going to say anything. You're not going to challenge me. You know what type of time I'm on. I'll crush you. That's the thing. There's some people who've used this stuff of hurting other people in a pussy ass way, bro. And they feel like it's justified. That's why there's some people, they cannot return to their own hometowns. They cannot look other people in their eyes. They cannot look themselves in the mirror. Because downright, there are people who know that they've done some fucked up things, but it's like, yo, I feel like it's justified. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I'm in a gang, right? And there's somebody else who's in a gang that I know of. Or let's say we don't even have to be in gangs. You're bad, I'm bad, right? I know that you're really bad and reckless. And you know that I can be bad and reckless as well. So you know what? Because I know that there's like a little bit of a tie there, or you know what? You look at me as I'm with it and I'm with it. You know what? In order for me to get my rocks off or whatever, I'm going to attack somebody. It doesn't have to be you. It could be somebody around you or somebody that's weaker than you. who I can get them to be quiet, or you're not going to respond, or you're a mute, as I stated, or you're pussy. You'll allow anybody to walk over you. I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of people who claim that they're tough, and they use that friendly belt to ass, whatever saying. They give out friendlies, or they deal with their problems and cast it on people that they feel like are not going to respond. You're not going to do it to somebody that's on the same type of time as you, because you know that they'll give you the same kind of run for your money that you would. So in order for me to feel better about myself, I'm going to attack somebody that didn't deserve it. That's something that some people do not know. Example, when you hear certain girls getting their heart broken and it's like, yo, she was a sweetheart, she never deserved it. Guess what? You probably was messing with somebody that they were way more advanced than you, or they were probably in the streets. You're a good girl. You should have never been there. Life happens. You feel me? Or you could have been a dude who you got your heart broken by a thought. And guess what? You never knew that she was a thought. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it's a tale of two halves, but understand this. Hurt people do hurt people. I'm not saying it's something that's excusable or it's right, but what I'm telling you is this. In life, there are some people, they carry out their plans and they inflict harm and pain on people who do not deserve it. That's where the new leaf is turned, especially in the black community. Why do you think that there's so much kids out here who end up committing suicide, or I got bullied? Because why? There are people targeting people who do not deserve it. That's why I said, yo, you got to be pussy as hell to do some shit like that. In order for you to claim, yo, I'm the man, or I'm with it, or whatever, you want to really be claimed bad, go up the totem pole. I say this shit all the time. If you want to prove yourself like that, do it to somebody who's really deserving, who could really give you that run for your money. That's how you up your rank and you build experience in life, bro. Don't go after people who probably wouldn't attack you or probably didn't deserve it, dog. Because like I said, that's pussy, bro. That's like a form of bullying. You feel me? There's some people who don't know how to handle their problems, so they just inflict it on somebody who isn't deserving of it, so they can get their time back. And you know what? Let me see if I can put some fear in you. Let me see if I can take something from you as well. That'll make me feel all the better. You feel me? That being said, remember this, man. In life, there are some people who do things that are reckless and it's not called for, and they did it on the fact of, I'm hurt, so I'm going to hurt somebody else. But what they're not telling you is there are some people who are going around and hurting people who aren't deserving of it. Why do you think there's some people who their life is in shambles? Or it's like, yo, it's like you're in karma right now. Or why is your life so screwed up? It's like you were winning the other day and now it's like you're backwards now. You got to understand something. There are some people who've done some foul ass things to some undeserving ass people. And that's why they have the life that they live. Or they lost everything, or they're fighting to save tooth and nail on crumbs or whatever it is that they have. Because they know that the things that they did was fucked up. And then there's a lot of people who do these things to God's very own people, bro. People who probably never deserved it. Plot on people who are innocent. Yo, I don't like that dude. I don't like that girl. Why? Because of the spirit that they have. It's like they got the spirit to win. They got the energy to win. It's like I don't have that. So I'm going to take my pain and my anger and whatever I feel, and I'm going to cast it on the next person who's what? Undeserving. I said it before and I'll say it again. That's pussy, bruh. That's pussy as hell. Because you're going after somebody who didn't deserve it, and you're doing it because you feel like they're not going to respond. Just like that weird ass nigga I told you about, O'Neal. If you're going to do something in life, go up the totem pole, bro. Up your rank. Don't be a pussy out here, bro. If you really got problems with somebody, don't aim after somebody who's quiet, who's out of the way. Go after somebody who really deserves it, who really needs it done to him. It's just like, give you an example. Look at in the black community, and this is why a lot of people call us pussy, bro. Look at how George Zimmerman has been out here for years, walking around freely, doing whatever the hell it is that he wants. But you got people in our own community like, oh, he did that to Trayvon, justice for Trayvon. You wouldn't get justice for Trayvon, but you'll go ahead and take your anger out on somebody on what? Your own same type of time, your own skin complexion. And chances are probably they're not deserving. That's pussy as hell. You feel me? Some people don't sit down and look at shit like that. That's very pussy. You have all these beefs and pending problems with all of these people. But you know what? I'm going to pick somebody to cast my anger on, and it's somebody who's undeserving. That's pussy. Some people just don't hear that a lot, bro. It's pussy as hell. You feel me? With that being said, remember this. Words can help you. They can hurt you. But here on my channel, I aim to uplift you because everybody's a champion. Nobody's a loser, man. Just remember this in life, bro. When you're happy in life, You're not out here trying to screw people over. You're happy. Happiness is a drug, bro. Peace is priceless. These are things that money cannot buy. Then there's some people who are so hurt on the inside, the only thing that they can do is do what's easy, which is what? Inflict their pain and trauma on somebody else. Rather than me go to therapy and get help for what it is that I go through, let me put it off on somebody else. And let me scapegoat somebody. Let me bully them in the background and play like they're the problem when deep down I know that I'm the problem. This is something I've went through my whole life, bro. I have too much experience in this, so I know what I'm talking about. That's not cool at all, dog. Hurt people are the ones who hurt other people, but that doesn't give you an excuse to be out here just screwing over people because you had a screwed up life or your life never panned out the way that you wanted it to from childhood. You get what I'm saying? 440 for the world, man. Peace.